Some people are just toxic people, whether they are on the narcissist personality disorder spectrum or not, doesn't make them any less toxic. Abuse is abuse and there is no excuse. Toxic people will do their best to get you to react, to bring you down to their level, to feel better about themselves. They exploit those around them. They drain people psychologically. They drain people physically. They drain people financially. They drain people's energy. They hold people back and they cause people to suffer. Toxic people just have a negative impact on your well-being and your mental health. They will take your hopes and dreams and they will use them against you to hurt you. They will steal all your joy and happiness and they will leave you feeling stressed with possible health problems, anxieties, trauma bonding, depression, and it can also leave you with a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of resentment and a lot of confusion. This video is about 12 signs you could be dealing with a toxic, at the very least, person or someone who is on the narcissist personality disorder spectrum. People can be narcissistic that don't necessarily go around destroying other people, that aren't on the spectrum of the disorder, that aren't toxic as such. And people can be toxic and they can have other issues internally that they need to deal with that doesn't class them as being on the narcissist personality disorder. People do need at least 5 of the 9 characteristics to be classed as on the disorder. I shall link this video up here. So this video is just to give you 12 different signs within a person that it might be time for you to step away from that person. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you overcome narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. Although most narcissists do lack in empathy, some can be dangerous. Not all are dangerous. However, you need to put your personal safety first. With some, you do have to move miles away from others. Once you've learned who they are, once you've learned how to handle your emotions around them, once you've learned their patterns of behaviour, what they're trying to do to you, to no longer give them those reactions, you can go limited contact and grey rock with them. If you spot any of these signs within a person, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are on the disorder itself. However, it does mean it's time to take the friendship slow or the relationship slow. If they are signs of someone who you already know, if they bring out the worst in you, if you don't feel happy around them, if you don't feel safe around them, it's time to leave them be and set yourself free. So number 1, negativity. Narcissists are extremely negative. They do experience emotions and they are human just like the rest of us. However, many of them experience the negative emotions such as anger, resentment, envy. They are very negative people, only positive in a moment if it benefits them. However, because they are envious, they're always seeking more. So even when they've got what they wanted, they quickly turn negative into having what they wanted because they see someone with something else that they want. Negative people often put situations down, they put events down, they put other people down in order to feel better about themselves. Sometimes in life we do go through negative times and people often just need support through these times. With a narcissist or a toxic person, it's often a repeat cycle of behaviour. It's fundamentally who they are as a person. Those who do have negative times in life, those who do have setbacks in life, as a rule, don't genuinely go around pulling other people down to feel better about themselves. Toxic, narcissistic people, when they're going through a negative stage, or even if they're not going through a negative stage, they will pull other people down. Pay attention to people's words as well as their actions. Pay attention to how they talk about and treat other people. 2, impatient. We can all be impatient at times. If we've got a lot on our plate, if we've got a lot to do, people can be in a rush, people can be self-absorbed, people can become impatient. With a narcissist or a toxic person, they are extremely impatient and they show this pattern of behaviour throughout their life. One of the easiest ways to spot this is if you're out at a restaurant, how they treat the staff there, how they expect their table service to be quicker than others, how they expect to be seated faster than others. If you were supposed to pre-book and they haven't, their expectation of just getting a table no matter what. Observe how quick they are to anger if things don't go their way or they don't get what they want. Watch how they treat others. Do they treat others as though other people are beneath them? If someone reacts when they've been provoked, then they just need to learn how to not react to people provoking them. When somebody provokes people to gain reactions because they didn't get their own way, you are dealing with an incredibly toxic person. Envious. Narcissistic people, toxic people, are extremely envious of others, rarely congratulating other people and often seeking to pull other people down. Highly competitive. Some people are naturally competitive people, however they recognise they're only in competition with doing better than themselves in that moment, than improving themselves. If someone is into sports, yes, in a sports situation, teams are in it to win it. So there is that competitive side within people that doesn't necessarily make someone toxic. With a narcissist, it's competition in whatever area in that narcissist's lives that they perceive they need to be better than all others, and they won't work harder within themselves in that competitive spirit. They will do all they can to destroy others to win. They will claim that other people cheated. They will invalidate other people's work. They will invalidate other people's feelings. Competitive people that aren't toxic would still wish people well and would work harder to improve themselves. Narcissistic people, toxic people, will bring others down and they will work harder to destroy that other person to feel better about themselves. Toxic people are usually very woe is me. They are usually stuck in that victim mindset of the world is against me and everyone around me should help me and everyone around me should agree with me. In every story, if things didn't go their way, they will be the victim, or they will claim how they tried to be the hero in that story. Most people will be the villain in somebody's story. With a narcissist, anybody who doesn't do exactly what they want is the villain in that narcissist story. They hold a lot of grudges against other people who haven't done by the narcissist what the narcissist expected them to do. Many people, life happens to people, things happen, and people can go into the victim mindset, especially when they've been a victim. However, many of them will go through a phase of questioning themselves, of blaming both parties, a narcissist or a toxic person will claim their innocence and blame everything on the other person. Most people who have been the victim of something are looking for a way out of that stage in their life. They're looking to improve their lives. They might go through a stage of anger and resentment. They might want to get revenge on someone, which is often just justice. What they want is peace. However, once they've worked on themselves and moved on, they lose that victim mindset and they find the positives in life. They find the things to be grateful for. They find the lessons and they work through it and don't repeat the same patterns of behaviour. Narcissistic people, toxic people, they rarely look at themselves. They rarely accept any accountability for their own behaviour. They are always looking to shift the blame. With a true victim, you're often trying to convince them that they are not to blame. With a narcissist, they are convincing others that the narcissist themselves isn't to blame and that everybody is around them is to blame for the things, the failings within their life. Quick to anger. Narcissists take things far, far too personally and often feel criticism or feel shamed or feel humiliated when it isn't even about them. Some people are naturally sensitive. Some people have been hurt in the past. Some people have gone into the survival mechanism of fight, so they want to stand up for themselves. However, they don't go around trying to destroy people in the process. They can recognize the areas within themselves that they need to work on. They will often say, oh, I shouldn't have done this, I wish I hadn't have done that, and they will feel guilty. They will work through the process. With a narcissist, they can rage out of nowhere and then they blame the other person for the narcissist's rage. With a toxic person, they never see any of their actions as the problem. They always see people's reactions as the problem. Kind-hearted people, honest people, loyal people don't go around trying to punish others. Narcissists, toxic people, they go around trying to punish others. Narcissists go on the attack to try and hurt you back, and you have to remember when dealing with toxic people that what they say about you, what they say to you, says more about who they are as a person than it ever will you. When someone blames all others for the failings within their lives, they're a toxic person that isn't going to learn from their own mistakes to make their lives better for themselves. People who have been the victim of something often still in some way blame themselves for it. They still find a reason why what they should have done or what they shouldn't have done. Again, the true victim often needs convincing of why they are not to blame. The true victim often needs convincing as to why they're not a narcissist. Whereas a narcissist believes that everybody else is the narcissist and they're the innocent party that got hurt in it all, when in reality it's their behaviour that is causing them their pain. Only they cause other people the pain and then blame the other people for the pain that the other people are in. Holds a lot of grudges. As narcissistic people don't see themselves as the problem, and as they blame other people, they hold on to a lot of anger and resentment and grievances against those who the narcissist basically can't control. People can, again, have been hurt in some way and can go through a stage of grief where they want revenge, where they want to see karma hit the other person, when in reality what they want is justice. They want to see somebody who has wronged them get their comeuppance for wronging another person. A narcissist, most often the other person didn't wrong them. The other person might have just recognised who that toxic person is and stopped playing their games. So in the narcissist's mind, that person has wronged them because the narcissist can no longer control them. Therefore, they either seek to hoover them back so that they can exploit them some more, or they go all out with this smear campaign to destroy that person's name. If they are stuck on seeking revenge on quite a lot of people, most often they are toxic. Some people can get trapped in that revenge thought process. However, at some point they would move past it, they would move on from it, and they wouldn't be seeking to destroy anybody and everybody within their lives. Toxic people hold a lot of grievances against people who haven't done as the narcissist says. Judgmental. Yes, we can all be judgmental from time to time, but often not meaning any malice, not meaning any harm by it. And within life, when dealing with toxic or narcissistic people, we could actually do with being a little bit more judgmental. Narcissists are extremely judgmental of other people in a negative way. If other people don't match their beliefs, if other people don't match their opinions, they will seek to shame, blame, criticise, humiliate other people. They can't recognise other people as an individual that's living their own life, and they cannot accept that, well, that is for you and this is for me, and as long as neither of us are causing each other any other harm, it doesn't matter. You go and be who you want to be, I'll be who I want to be. Narcissistic people believe they should bring all others around to their way of thinking. Part of them being judgmental is the fact that they will pull other people down just simply for being themselves, because the narcissist doesn't like the fact that that person can just be who they are around other people. They are envious of other people and they feel a need to pull other people down, to feel better about who they are as a person. Yes, in some ways we shouldn't judge a book by its cover. We do need to get to know people on a deeper level. We also need to be cautious about the people we are getting to know. People make mistakes in life. People say the wrong thing. People do things that they don't mean. And if they can recognise that and learn from that, then it's a genuine mistake. If they can't recognise their own failings, if they can't recognise their own wrongdoings, if they blame it on all others, then they perceive themselves to be perfect and are often very toxic. Cheating. Cheating is a choice. Yes, people can be in a situation within a relationship where they are driven to the depths of despair, and that cheating is a choice they make to help themselves feel better. However, many people who are kind-hearted people, who are honest, who are loyal people would feel guilt. They would feel shame. They would want to make it up to the person they've hurt, even if that person's hurt them. They would learn from it and they wouldn't do it again. With a narcissist, it's often a repeat pattern of behaviour that they cycle around. And if they don't have affairs, if they don't cheat on you, they will cheat you out of homes, money, jobs, cars, families, happiness, joy, dreams, hobbies, friendship, family. They will be cheating you out of something. And always remember, those who come to you through cheating will most often leave you by cheating. Liars. People can tell a white lie or two. Genuine people often tell a white lie because they don't want to hurt someone else's feelings, and again they would usually feel guilt and not do it again and avoid it again. And if they get caught out on that lie, they would often own up and take ownership for their behaviour and do what they can to make amends. Narcissistic people, toxic people, they lie a lot and they deny that they lie. They're not going to admit to any fault or any wrongdoing, any misdemeanour. They are just not going to admit to that. The only way they will admit to it is by saying, I'm sorry, you. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry if. It's never, oh yes, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I will learn from it and make sure I don't do it again. It's a case of, I'm sorry, if you hadn't have done this, then I wouldn't have done that. So if you don't do that again, I may or might not do that again. It depends what mood I'm in. They're not going to be honest with you. They are going to shift the blame over to anyone they can to run from their lies. And often they tell that many lies. They believe these lies within themselves. They lie through exaggeration. There is many different ways a narcissist, a toxic person will lie, and it's to escape exposure for who they are as a person. It's to escape consequences for their actions. People who lie on repeat pattern of behaviour, repeat basis, even when you just think, that doesn't quite add up right. Often you're thinking it doesn't add up right because they've left the truth out of the equation. Coercive, controlling. They are very controlling. They want everything their own way. They are going to try and guilt trip you. They're going to try and use your emotions against you. They're going to try and use your thoughts against you. They are going to say things of such as, it's not all about you, to guilt trip you into doing what they want you to do. They manipulatively control people. Some people do like a certain amount of control. It's called certainty within life. And it can be a good trait as long as it's not affecting those around them. Some people do like things to be done a certain way. However, they can be accepting of the fact that other people do things differently to them. Some people can have gone into the flight survival mode, so they might develop things like OCD. Often they know what they are doing. Within narcissists, they don't recognise that they're trying to control other people. They believe that people are trying to control them. Lack of accountability or no accountability. They don't see anything that they do wrong. They're not going to be held responsible for things that they've done. They never see any part that they played in any given situation. To a narcissist or a toxic person, it is always somebody else's fault. Always finding a scapegoat to blame. Yes, sometimes people can think that they are in the right. However, most people can reflect and come to some form of agreement. With a narcissist, they're not going to reflect. They believe themselves to be right, and they're going to try and control the situation so that you believe them to be right. They're going to try and gaslight you into their reality, their way of thinking. They don't want to suffer any consequences for their actions. So a toxic person is not going to be held accountable for anything they do wrong. However, they will hold themselves accountable for things that other people do right. They will take credit for other people's achievements. They will take credit for those who have helped other people out. The whole, you could have only done that because of me. So they will take credit, they'll just not be held accountable for anything that goes wrong within their own lives. I shall add into the description 15 things that a narcissist will say to distract you from the truth. I shall add the 9 characteristics of the narcissist personality disorder, and I shall also add the video of the 2 sides to a narcissist after you've got no contact, so that you can recognise the games that they might try to play and step away from their games. The best way to beat a narcissist is to step away and no longer play. If anyone has any signs of a toxic person that I've missed in the video, because there are many of them, please do add those into the comments to build up a glossary to help other people spot what they might be dealing with. If anyone has any advice on what helped them overcome narcissistic abuse, please also add that in the comments, because what works for one person might just work for another. Thank you very much for listening, and go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.